Arrow is the show that started the entire Arrowverse. The show lasted for 8 seasons and 170 episodes. As a result, I decided to rank all 8 seasons of Arrow from worst to best. As always, my list isn't the correct list, it's just my list. That said, here's my ranking of all 8 seasons of Arrow from worst to best. Coming in at number 8 is season 4. Many people agree season 4 is the worst season of Arrow. While I enjoyed Damien Dark as a villain, he didn't work well on Arrow. Thankfully, he was moved to Legends of Tomorrow and was much better on that show. Also, I didn't like how Felicity Smoke scolded Oliver for having a son, William Clayton, and not telling her about it when she knew Samantha Clayton, William's mom, put Oliver in a tight spot. That was the worst part of the season. I hate that Oliver and Felicity didn't get married this season and broke off their engagement because Felicity couldn't handle the situation about Oliver's son. Lastly, killing off Earth 1 Laurel Lance was a huge mistake. She just became a superhero in season 3, and I hate that they decided to kill her off this season. While I have season 4 at the bottom, I appreciated that the show decided to go for a lighthearted approach since Arrow is obviously dark and gritty. Also, while Damien Dark didn't work well on Arrow, Neil McDonough did a phenomenal job either way. When you watch him on screen, it's clear he's having fun in his role. Due to the season not being well written, season 4 comes in last place. At number 7, I have season 7. While I enjoyed the prison storyline during the first 7 episodes, the season fell off for me afterwards. It was interesting to see that Oliver had a half sister, Emiko Adachi, through an affair his dad, Robert Queen, had. However, I didn't like her as a villain. I feel like Dante should have been the main villain for this season, since he was the one who was responsible for the death of Emiko's mother, Kazumi Adachi. On top of that, Emiko dresses up as the Green Arrow, even though she despises Oliver. It didn't make sense why Emiko was filling in for Oliver when she hated him. Despite the season falling off after the prison storyline, this season still contains some memorable moments. Those include the Ricardo Diaz storyline, the Elseworlds crossover event, Oliver fighting while unmasked, the flash forwards, and the documentary episode. Since season 7 was more enjoyable than season 4, it deserves to come in at number 7. At number 6, I have season 3. When it comes to season 3, it's one of those seasons that's a mixed bag. Season 3 wasn't as good as it could have been for me. I didn't buy Matt Nable as Ra's al Ghul. He does an alright job in the role. However, I didn't believe him to be the old ancient warrior known as Ra's al Ghul. Also, he didn't appear enough as the season's main villain. He only appeared in 10 out of 23 episodes of season 3. They used the same storyline since Ra's al Ghul is a Batman villain. Instead of wanting Bruce Wayne to take his place as the leader of the League of Assassins, Ra's wants Oliver Queen to take his place instead. I can't say that I enjoyed the fact that they decided to use that storyline to continue Oliver's journey. Besides the Batman storyline being used, I enjoyed seeing Roy Harper become Oliver's sidekick, known as Arsenal. Seeing Roy learn an Archer Vigilante's ways was a joy to watch. Also, I like how this is the season where the Arrowverse technically begins, since season 1 of The Flash premieres at the same time as this season runs. Furthermore, I enjoyed seeing Barry, Caitlin, and Cisco assist Oliver and Team Arrow this season. Lastly, I enjoyed seeing Malcolm Merlyn as an ally to Team Arrow and Earth 1 Laurel joining Oliver's crusade as the Black Canary. That said, I don't hate season 3, and I don't love it either. Therefore, I think season 3 is good enough at number 6. At number 5, I have season 6. Season 6 was definitely a step down from season 5. They ruined the season 5 finale since Samantha Clayton, William's mother, was the only character revealed to have died on the island. All the other characters survived, even though some were injured and traumatized. Despite that, I enjoyed the season overall. Ricardo Diaz was an excellent main villain, and I like how he starts as a behind-the-scenes villain. It's revealed that he played Caden James from the start and was the one who orchestrated the death of his son, Owen Post. Furthermore, he had all of the cops and politicians on his payroll. As a result, that led to Oliver's demise as mayor. When he killed Quentin Lance, it was very gut-wrenching and motivated both Oliver and Earth 2 Laurel Lance for season 7. Season 6 also gave us one of the show's best episodes, episode 19. It was fantastic to see Diaz's rough childhood and how he became the monster we saw him as on the show. Also, I like how it's one of the few episodes focusing on the main antagonist rather than the main protagonist. Other things I liked about season 6 were the fact that Oliver and Felicity finally got married during the Crisis on Earth X crossover event. Team Arrow splitting apart, and Earth 2 Laurel Lance, aka Black Siren, turning good and bonding with Quentin. I was engaged with season 6 more than both seasons 3 and 7 combined. As a result, it comes in at number 5. At number 4, I have the show's final season, season 8. Season 8 is excellent. I love how this season follows Oliver as he prepares for Crisis. I loved seeing Oliver spend time with his future kids, older William Clayton and Mia Smoke Queen. Especially with Mia. Seeing Oliver and Mia together was a joy to watch, even when Mia was angry at Oliver for not being in her life. Furthermore, seeing how much Mia resembled Oliver in terms of personality was incredible. My favorite season 8 episode will have to be episode 6. The fact that Oliver had to relive the same day with Quentin alive and well was so emotional to watch, especially when they said goodbye to one another at the end. What I like most about this season is the approach. Rather than a typical big bad, Crisis itself is more of the main antagonist. The Anti-Monitor is considered the main villain since he's often foreshadowed and referenced throughout the season. Also, he's the last villain Oliver fights before his death. However, Crisis was the thing that caused Season 8 to be created. As a result, it deserves the credit as Season 8's main villain. What holds Season 8 back for me is the series finale not feeling like a proper way to wrap up Oliver's story. While I like the flashback of Oliver and John tracking down and imprisoning John Byrne, and the final scene with Oliver and Felicity in the afterlife, I feel like we should have gotten a series finale where Oliver said goodbye to everyone before sacrificing himself to save the multiverse. Also, I hate that the Green Arrow and the Canaries episode didn't go anywhere. I was looking forward to a spin-off series centered around Oliver's daughter, Mia Smoke Queen, Dinah Drake, and Earth 2 Laurel Lance. Overall, Season 8 is pretty solid and deserves to come in at number 4. At number 3, I have Season 1. Season 1 definitely started the show and the Arrowverse as a whole off on a high note. Seeing Oliver readjust to his life in Starling City, later renamed Star City, while operating as the Hood, was fun to watch. I loved seeing Oliver reunited with his mother, Moira Queen, his sister, Thea Queen, and his best friend, Tommy Merlin. His chemistry with all three characters was terrific, and it was awesome seeing Oliver spend time with them. Also, I liked the dynamic between Oliver, John Diggle, and Felicity Smoke when Oliver recruits them to join his mission to save his city. Furthermore, I thought it was interesting to see Oliver kill his enemies this season, rather than lock them up, even though Oliver still killed in later seasons here and there. Aside from Oliver reconnecting with his family and best friend and recruiting John and Felicity, I enjoyed his chemistry with Earthworm Laurel and his interaction with Quentin Lance. On another note, I like how Roy Harper is introduced as a criminal this season and seeks out heroism. Malcolm Merlyn, aka Dark Archer, was a phenomenal main villain this season. I loved his motivation to avenge his wife, Rebecca Merlyn, by destroying the Glades, and how he succeeds and fakes his death afterwards. This was Malcolm's best season, since later seasons ruined him, while also bringing more humanity to him. I only have Season 1 at number 3, since it was sometimes hard to understand what was happening. Nevertheless, Season 1 was terrific and deserves to be in the top 3. At number 2, I have Season 2. Season 2 was a fantastic follow-up to Season 1. I loved watching Oliver setting a vow to stop crime without killing criminals, using the Arrow as his new name to show change, and continuing to work with John and Felicity. Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, is an excellent main villain this season. We were introduced to him through flashbacks in Season 1, and I enjoyed the reveal of him being alive in the present day. On top of that, it was nice to see how Slade's rivalry with Oliver started through flashbacks this season. The final battle between the two was very intense, and I liked the back and forth between them fighting in the past and the present. Also, I enjoyed seeing Oliver taking Roy under his wing to train him as a vigilante, along with receiving help from Quentin. Lastly, I enjoyed seeing the romantic arc between Oliver and Sarah, Laurel coping with Tommy's death, and a romantic arc between Oliver and Felicity, starting at the end of the season. Coming in at number 1 is Season 5. Season 5 was a huge improvement over Season 4. Like Zoom from The Flash, Prometheus is a scary villain and the most terrifying villain on Arrow. Also, like Zoom, Prometheus is one of the most terrifying villains in the entire Arrowverse. Some of you may have Season 1 or Season 2 at the top. If you do, I can't argue with you, because both Season 1 and Season 2 were great. Seasons 1, 2, and 5 are the 3 best seasons of Arrow. I liked Season 5 the most because I enjoyed seeing Prometheus break and screw with Oliver to the point where he quit being the Green Arrow for a while. Also, I liked the additions to Team Arrow in the forms of Renee Ramirez, aka Wild Dog, Curtis Holt, aka Mr. Terrific, Evelyn Sharp, aka Artemis, and Rory Regan, aka Ragman, due to Earth-1 Laurel's death at the hands of Damien Darhk. Furthermore, I was shocked by Evelyn's betrayal in this season, and Oliver recruits a new Black Canary in the form of Dinah Drake as a result. Lastly, I liked seeing Oliver as mayor this season, and it was interesting to see him balance his role as mayor with his vigilantism. On another note, the Season 5 finale is the darkest finale of all television. If the show would have ended that way, I would have been in utter shock. Unfortunately, as I stated earlier, they ruined the season finale with Season 6's premiere. Regardless, Season 5 was phenomenal and deserves to come in at number 1. There you have it, my ranking of all 8 seasons, from worst to best. Arrow was definitely a better show than The Flash in terms of consistency, and it's nice to reflect on the journey the show went on over the years. Also, it's incredible that the series spawned several other shows, such as The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. Feel free to leave your ranking of all 8 seasons in the comments section below. Also, check out my other videos and leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate all of you. Peace out.